Part 1 of 8.
Pre-listening 30-second task instruction.
You will hear a telephone conversation between a student, Maddie, and an instructor named Dr. Rafi Mujahid, discussing admissions at the SILAH Institute.
First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5.
Multiple choice questions 1 to 5.
Directions. Choose the correct letter A, B, or C.
Hello, SILAH Institute. Dr. Rafi Mujahid speaking. How can I help you?
Hello, Dr. Rafi. My name is Maddie. I'm an IELTS aspirant and wanted to get some information regarding admission to your preparatory session. Could you tell me how long the course lasts?
Welcome, Maddie. Our comprehensive preparatory package is structured to run for exactly 45 hours, which we deliver systematically over a period of 45 days.
Perfect, that fits my timeline. What about the pricing structure? How much is the total tuition fee?
Well, it depends on the format you choose. For our traditional on-campus instruction where you attend in person, the total tuition fee is 35,000 Pakistani rupees. However, if you opt for our flexible online format, the full package costs 45,000 rupees.
I see. I might prefer the on-campus one to stay focused. Will I need to purchase a specific set of textbooks before the sessions start?
Not at all. You'll be happy to know that no books are required at all for this course. We provide everything you need digitally.
Oh, that saves quite a bit of hassle. Are there any other specific materials I should bring along with me?
Yes, there are a few mandatory items you must bring to every class session to fully participate in the lessons and practice tests. First, we rely heavily on digital platforms. A laptop is highly recommended, though an Android smartphone is an acceptable alternative if you don't have one.
I have a laptop, so I'll bring that. What about connectivity? Does the Institute provide internet access?
We do have networks, but due to high traffic during mock tests, it's not always reliable. Therefore, you must ensure you have your own active mobile data package or stable internet access on your device. Furthermore, since we do extensive listening practice, you must bring personal earphones or earbuds. For hygiene reasons, sharing is strictly prohibited.
Understood. Personal earphones and a data package. Anything else for the writing section?
Yes, you'll need a dedicated notebook or register solely for your essays and regular notes. Also, while you can use a standard pen or pointer for everyday note-taking, please remember that we strictly prefer you use a lead pencil during our mock test practice to properly mirror real exam conditions.
That makes perfect sense. Thank you so much for the detailed information, Dr. Rafi.
You're very welcome, Maddie. See you in class.
SILAH answer key. Multiple choice questions 1 to 5.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Part 2 of 8.
Pre-listening 30-second task instruction.
You will hear a conversation between two former college classmates, Maddie and Kainat, discussing IELTS preparation institutes.
First, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10.
Multiple choice questions 6 to 10.
Directions. Choose the correct letter A, B, or C. Hello, Maddie speaking.
Hi, Maddie. It's Kainat, your old classmate from our college days. How have you been?
Kainat, it's been so long. I'm doing great. How are things with you?
Everything is good, actually. I'm planning to leave Pakistan soon and head over to the UK to pursue my higher studies. Because of that, I need to clear the IELTS exam. I heard you just took it.
Yes, that's right. I recently finished my exam and actually managed to achieve a perfect score of 9 bands in each individual module.
Wow, 9 bands each. That is incredible. I really need your guidance on which preparation institute I should join to get a good score. Where did you study?
I did my entire preparation at an institute called SILAH, under the guidance of Dr. Rafi Mujahid. He has a brilliant approach to preparing his students.
That sounds interesting. What is the classroom environment like there? Is it just standard lecturing?
Not at all. The environment is highly interactive. Instead of just listening to lectures, all the students are actively involved in group discussions. Makes a huge difference.
Oh, I like the sound of that. I hate passive classes. Do they focus on hands-on practice?
Absolutely. A major part of the curriculum involves intensive practical work. We regularly practice actual test formats under real exam conditions, so you know exactly what to expect.
That's perfect. Do they help with confidence building or speaking skills in front of others?
Yes, they do. We are frequently required to give presentations in front of the class. It really helps eliminate exam anxiety and builds up your public speaking confidence.
It sounds like they cover everything. Is the course structure easy to follow?
Definitely. Everything is structured perfectly. All the work and lessons are carried out very systematically, in strict accordance with the official IELTS criteria and requirements. There is no guesswork involved.
Wow, Maddie. Hearing all this makes me want to start immediately. I'm going to contact SILAH and enroll at my earliest opportunity.
That's a great decision, Kainat. You won't regret it. Good luck.
SILAH answer key. Multiple choice questions 6 to 10.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Part 3 of 8.
Pre-listening 30-second task instruction.
You will hear a woman named Maddie speaking to her guests at a dinner party, explaining why the main course is burnt.
First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15.
Multiple choice questions 11 to 15.
Directions. Choose the correct letter A, B, or C. Everyone, please gather around. I owe you all a massive apology. As you can probably smell from the kitchen, our main course is completely ruined. It is totally burnt to a crisp. I promise I didn't just forget about it in the oven. I was actually following a recipe from that famous online cooking influencer, Chef Julian. He posted what he called a foolproof video for a perfect slow-roasted dynamic roast, and I trusted him blindly. He explicitly said in the video to set the oven to 240 degrees Celsius for the entire duration to get a crispy skin. Well, it certainly got crispy. It looks like charcoal now. He also claimed that the preparation would only take 10 minutes of active time, so I thought I would have plenty of time to chat with you all. But his instructions forgot to mention that you need to lower the heat after the first 15 minutes. I even bought a brand new digital meat thermometer just for tonight to make sure the internal temperature hit exactly 75 degrees as he recommended. But by the time the timer went off at the 45-minute mark, the alarm on the thermometer was screaming because the temperature had skyrocketed past 100 degrees. I am so embarrassed. Instead of a gourmet meal, I've managed to create a smoke hazard. Luckily, I have already called the local pizza place down the street, and they said they can deliver 4 large gourmet pizzas to us within 20 minutes. So, please grab another glass of drink, make yourselves comfortable, and let's try to laugh about this.
SILAH, answer key. Multiple choice questions, 11 to 15.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Part 4 of 8.
Pre-listening 30-second task instruction.
You will hear a speaker named Dr. Rafi Mujahid talking to an audience at the Shalimar Hotel in Jauharabad, explaining a situation regarding his social media messaging application.
First, you have some time to look at questions 16 to 20.
Multiple choice questions 16 to 20.
Directions. Choose the correct letter A, B, or C.
Good evening, everyone. It is wonderful to be speaking to you all here tonight at the Shalimar Hotel in Jauharabad. I must give a quick mention to the owner of this beautiful establishment, who happens to be one of my absolute closest friends and has graciously hosted us today. Now, on to the reason I wanted to address our inner circle tonight. Many of you have noticed that I have been completely unresponsive on our main friend group chat for the past few days. I want to clear the air. I actually had to mute notifications for that group entirely. It wasn't out of anger, but rather because of a massive misunderstanding regarding our plans for this upcoming weekend. Initially, someone proposed a quiet dinner out on Saturday night. However, due to a flurry of rapid-fire messages and mixed signals, half the group thought we were organizing an all-day hiking trip on Sunday morning, while the other half thought we were planning a weekend getaway out of town. Within 2 hours, my phone had logged over 400 notifications. People were arguing over locations, transport, and arrival times for 3 entirely different events. It became an overwhelming digital storm. To protect my sanity and focus on my work, I decided to silence the chat temporarily until we could all meet up face-to-face tonight to finalize our actual schedule. So, let's put the digital screens away for a moment and sort out our real weekend plans over dinner.
SILAH, answer key. Multiple choice questions 16 to 20.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Part 5 of 8.
Pre-listening 30-second task instruction.
You will hear a university career advisor, Dr. Rafi Mujahid, and 2 final-year business students, Maddie and Kainat, discussing employment options after graduation.
First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
Multiple choice questions 21 to 25.
Directions. Choose the correct letter A, B, or C.
Welcome, Maddie and Kainat. Glad you both could make it. As final-year business students, you are approaching a critical junction. I understand you both want to look at the advantages and drawbacks of corporate internships versus working as paid research assistants here at the university. Maddie, let's start with you. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, Dr. Rafi, I've been looking closely at the corporate internships. Even though they are unpaid, I feel the networking opportunities in a corporate environment are unparalleled. You get to interact directly with industry leaders and executives.
That's a valid point, Maddie. Corporate exposure is excellent for building a professional network. However, Remember that unpaid interns are sometimes relegated to administrative tasks, which won't develop your core analytical skills. Kainat, what about your perspective on the research assistant roles?
Personally, the financial aspect is a major factor for me. The research roles are fully paid, which helps cover my immediate living expenses. But more than that, I think working closely with data analysis and academic publishing will give me an edge if I apply for a master's degree later.
I see your point, Kainat, but I'm worried that academic research might keep us too isolated from the actual commercial business world. Don't you think employers value corporate desk experience more?
It depends entirely on your target career path, Maddie. If you aim to go straight into consulting or corporate banking, an internship, even an unpaid one, proves you can navigate a corporate hierarchy. On the flip side, major global tech firms and market research agencies highly value graduates who can manage complex datasets, a skill you primarily build as a research assistant.
So, Dr. Rafi, is it fair to say that the research role offers more technical skill development, while the corporate internship focuses on soft skills and industry connections?
Exactly. Kainat. You've summarized it perfectly. The main drawback of the research role is that it won't give you a feel for daily corporate operations. The biggest downside of the internship is, obviously, the lack of compensation coupled with the risk of doing repetitive work.
That makes sense. I guess we need to decide if we want to prioritize building specialized technical skills or breaking into a specific corporate network right away.
Precisely. I suggest you both look closely at the specific job descriptions before making a final choice. Let's look at those documents together now.
SILAH, answer key. Multiple choice questions 21 to 25.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Part 6 of 8.
Pre-listening 30-second task instruction.
You will hear a university project team discussion among 4 business students, Maddie, Munib, Aksa, and Shoaib, who are collaborating on a new marketing campaign.
First, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30.
Multiple choice questions 26 to 30.
Directions. Choose the correct letter A, B, or C. Maddie. Okay team, let's lock in our strategy. For this product launch, I'm pitching a bold, completely unconventional social media approach. Instead of buying standard banner ads or scheduling ordinary posts, I want us to create an interactive virtual reality filter game across platforms. It's edgy, experimental, and if it clicks, the organic reach will outpace any traditional campaign we could pay for.
I like the ambition, Maddie, but we have to look closely at our target demographics first. Our core consumers aren't tech-savvy teenagers. They're working professionals aged 30 to 45. According to our latest database research, this demographic actively avoids gimmicky interactive filters. They value straightforward, informative video content on professional networks rather than trendy consumer apps. If we go too bold, we risk alienating the exact audience that has the disposable income to buy this product.
Munib makes a solid point about the audience, but my main worry is our visual branding. Maddie's VR idea uses incredibly loud, neon color palettes that completely clash with our established brand identity. We have spent 3 years positioning this company as an elegant, minimalist corporate brand. Introducing chaotic visuals right now will confuse our existing customer base and weaken our logo's market recognition. We need to retain our signature pastel tones and clean geometric lines, even if the delivery format changes.
You all have valid points regarding the creative and demographic sides, but as the operations manager, I have to map out the operational timeline. Developing a custom VR asset or redesigning high-end minimal visual assets cannot happen overnight. According to my workflow projections, building Maddie's interactive framework will take a minimum of 6 weeks, followed by 2 weeks of strict beta testing. If we stick to a simplified, standard video campaign with Axe's clean aesthetic, we can deploy the entire launch within 14 days. Given that our hard deadline from the board is exactly 3 weeks from today, the complex route is mathematically impossible.
Wow, seeing the dates laid out like that really puts things into perspective, Shoaib. Let's adjust our scope immediately to fit that timeline.
SILAH answer key. Multiple choice questions, 26 to 30.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Part 7 of 8.
Pre-listening 30-second task instruction.
You will hear a psychology lecturer, Ms. Maddie, giving a presentation on a cognitive phenomenon known as decision fatigue.
First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 35.
Multiple choice questions 31 to 35.
Directions. Choose the correct letter A, B, or C. Good morning, everyone. In today's cognitive psychology lecture, we are going to explore a phenomenon that dictates almost every aspect of modern consumerism, known as decision fatigue. Historically, traditional economists believed that providing individuals with an abundance of choices was inherently liberating. However, contemporary psychological research indicates the exact opposite is true. When the human brain is bombarded with an excessive number of options, its executive functioning begins to short-circuit, leading to a state of cognitive paralysis. To understand why this happens, we must recognize that the human brain operates on a finite energetic budget. Every choice you make, whether it is as trivial as choosing a morning beverage or as significant as selecting a healthcare plan, depletes a shared reservoir of mental energy. This asset is governed by the prefrontal cortex. As this mental fuel resource runs low, the brain actively seeks ways to conserve energy. It stops executing rational, high-effort trade-offs and instead defaults to the easiest possible path. This brings us to the two primary behavioral outcomes of decision fatigue. The first is what psychologists call choice avoidance. When faced with an overwhelming supermarket aisle containing 30 varieties of a single product, consumers frequently experience anxiety and walk away without making any purchase at all. The second outcome is impulse purchasing. This is why retail supermarkets deliberately place sugary snacks and low-cost items right next to the final checkout counters. By the time a shopper has spent an hour navigating the store and making choices, their prefrontal cortex is completely exhausted. Consequently, their self-control collapses, making them highly susceptible to impulsive, emotional buying decisions that they would normally resist. Understanding this mechanism allows us to design better environments that protect our limited cognitive resources.
SILAH answer key, multiple choice questions 31 to 35.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Part 8 of 8.
Pre-listening 30-second task instruction.
You will hear a media studies lecturer, Dr. Rafi Mujahid, giving a presentation on the narrative techniques used in modern video games compared to traditional cinema.
First, you have some time to look at questions 36 to 40.
Multiple choice questions 36 to 40.
Directions. Choose the correct letter A, B, or C.
Welcome back, class. In today's Media Studies lecture, we are moving past passive entertainment frameworks to evaluate how contemporary interactive media reshapes viewer psychology. Specifically, we will explore how video games leverage non-linear storytelling to generate a level of emotional empathy that traditional cinema simply cannot replicate. When you sit in a dark theater watching a classic 2-hour feature film, you are experiencing a strictly fixed, linear timeline. No matter how deeply you connect with the main character, you remain an observer. You are watching a predetermined script unfold across a singular path, meaning your emotional response is purely sympathetic. Video games completely disrupt this dynamic by operating on non-linear narrative architecture. In these digital spaces, the storyline diverges based entirely on player choices, branching out into multiple possible paths, consequences, and endings. This interactivity completely redefines the viewer's psychological state from simple observation to direct agency. Because the player acts as the primary driver of the plot, their brain processes the character's failures and victories as personal experiences. Psychologists call this Ludenovel's empathy. In traditional cinema, if a hero makes a fatal mistake, the audience feels pity for that character. However, in a non-linear game structure, if a choice you make results in an unfortunate event, you experience actual guilt. The emotional stakes are exponentially higher because you bear the ultimate responsibility for the narrative outcome. Furthermore, the sheer time commitment required by immersive, non-linear games, often spanning 40 to 80 hours, allows for long-term character development that dwarfs the strict limitations of a 2-hour film. Consequently, the medium constructs a psychological bridge where the boundary between player and protagonist dissolves completely.
SILAH answer key, multiple choice questions 36 to 40.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين
तुर गए यार दिलां दे जानी वतन चुक मुहारा उजड़ी बस्ती यारो नजरी आवे कंड कीती जद यारा